Hi, everyone. It is Monday, March the 9th. I'm Mitch, of course, from Sports Chat Place, pickdogs.com, here with the Puck Dogs. Chris Ruffalo, Rod Zawacki. You guys know them. Very, very famous. Back in the day. They're old school, new school. Anyways, we've got a pretty small schedule today, so we're thinking it's going to be a short show, but that's rare, that it ever actually works out that way. We usually find
It never pans out the way you think.
So one of the things we were talking about before we went on the air was like I want to do a lot more stuff on the sites, talking about like historical, stat-based lists, not like rating like who's the best quarterback of all time, but more like what are the most yards thrown for in an NFL game. Top 10, stuff like that. I think that's, to me, is a lot more interesting than who's the best, who's the best college quarterback of all time. And it's like, someone writes an article like that and you see it on other sites and they put like the guys who are the best NFL quarterbacks. I got to say Tom Brady, who was okay at college. I mean, he was okay enough to get drafted in the 6th or 7th round or something. It's like he was okay in college. He wasn't great, like great college quarterbacks, like the year Burrow just had. That was great. Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on. Got March Madness is underway. We have a few teams that have punched their ticket to the dance. Are you going to relay the directions on how to get the free Pick Dog shirts? We haven't got the shirts yet. So regardless of if we get the shirts or not, I will do it on Wednesday, but I don't want to. What I don't want is a million emails, where's my shirt? Because I haven't gotten them yet. And I don't have time to answer them all. And I know damn well, just by saying I was going to have a shirt giveaway, all the emails I got, it's crazy, So it's like, and I even said I'll announce the details later or whatever. People still sent it, Like this is what I want to do. Great. Start your sports betting podcast. We welcome the competition because we're going to be doing a podcast as well. So you guys will be head-on competition with us. We're going to run you over like a truck. Welcome. I don't sleep. I'll be podcasting all frickin' night. You got one more listener than we do. I'll stay up for a month, man.
Sleep? We don't need sleep. We'll get that later.
Yep. So we got 5 NHL games. Yeah, we talked about we talked about also another thing that we talked about in the last show, in the computer pick show. Someone said they took 7 of my YouTube NBA picks, parlayed them together yesterday for $100 and won over $10,000. And that is, if you do the math, that is what the parlay pays. And it's normally when people say they won this bet or they did whatever, the math never adds up. It never adds up. But on this one, it actually was pretty much spot on as to what a $100 17 parlay would pay. It wasn't the exact number, but they just kind of threw it out there. It was close enough. It was close enough because one of our viewers figured it out that it's a $93. It's $93. If you do a $93 17 parlay, it pays $10,000. This person said they did $100, which makes sense, and it paid $10K. So I don't think we have hats for sale at the website. You can't buy them. The hats are only they're only for VIPs like me. Chris has one. He never wears them.
Oh, I wear it out in public all the time.
Oh. There you go. Only in public, only for public things. He wears that with the sunglasses. That's why people recognize him.
I get people screaming from the cars as they drive by, "What's your pick today?"
It was like on this show when we talked about, the wrestlers, that used to get suspended and then they would wear the mask, They'd unmask. It's
Those
me!
conquistadors.
But anyways, it is March Madness. We got a few teams that have punched their ticket for the dance. I don't know who those are off the top of my head.
I know Utah State's one of them.
Utah State is in after beating San Diego State. Knocked San Diego State out of a number 1 seed. I think it could knock them all the way to a 3. The way things are going.
That wouldn't surprise me. But I think maybe they'll be on the outside of like the brink of the number 2 seeds.
Yeah, it's like when you play in the Mountain West Conference, and that should also hurt somebody else that was on the bubble, our Richmond team. They have Marquette in there. They have Stanford in after losing to Oregon the other night, and they also have Indiana in, who lost at home on Saturday after they were like one of the last were in. But I think at this point, he doesn't really move these around a ton, because there's too much activity that will happen. But we know that I believe Colgate is also in, right? Or is that today? Colgate, Boston University. Is Colgate in?
I haven't seen it.
Maybe that game's tomorrow because I didn't see it on the card.
I think it's tomorrow, isn't it?
I believe it's tomorrow. Oh, no. He's got Colgate in, but I don't remember seeing that game. But Hofstra tonight playing for a chance to get in as well. Of course, the West Coast Conference, they kind of moved everything back another day now because it used to be the West Coast Conference final would have been tonight. But now they moved it to tomorrow, which is actually an awesome slate of games, even though for most of the conferences, the big ones, it's almost like play-in games. And then it's like there's these double buys and everything. I love this week. Anyway, speaking of this week, Chris, we got just 5 NHL games today. There's some quality, though, out there. At least some of the the good teams are playing. To me, if I look at this card, from a non-hockey person thing, and I just, you told me to pick the game that was the best game on the board, I would land on the game in Edmonton where they host Vegas here. Vegas 8-2 in their last 10, and Edmonton 5-3-2. But of course, big movers at the trade deadline. I'm going to guess one of these players is healthy finally because the line has moved $20. Is that what's happened here, or people just like Edmonton?
It could just be that people are starting to feel that maybe Vegas is due to regress a little bit after playing so well. I believe they did play last night too, so it could be Edmonton catching them on a back-to-back.
Yep.
I'm still going to side with Vegas though in that game. Vegas is just playing too well for me right now to pass on. There's just too much value there. I know Edmonton has the tandem of McDavid and Draisaitl, but Marc-Andre Fleury's probably going to be in net tonight after taking last night off, and I think Vegas goes in there and steals a win. Did you want me to go over the rest of the card, or do you want me to just take a couple games?
Well, it's only 5 games, so you can go over whatever you like.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything. I mean, I might go for a refill on the coffee, but that's about it.
I like Washington on the puck line against Buffalo. Just Buffalo's not doing anything for me. I know Washington's had issues on the road lately, but this seems like a perfect sort of spot to get things right. So I'll take Washington on the puck line. I like the under 5.5 in the Winnipeg-Arizona game. I lean towards Winnipeg on the money line. This is just Arizona's 2 points behind the last wild card spot. Winnipeg's tied for the last wild card spot right now, so this game has big playoff implications. I think just both teams are going to play at sort of a timid, slow kind of tempo in this game. They're going to want to feel each other out, so I think I'll go with the under here. I like St. Louis in regulation against Florida. I know Florida's a more desperate team, but St. Louis is just playing too well right now, especially at home. So I'll take St. Louis to win in regulation. And I'm not going near the LA-Colorado game, but I'll lean towards LA just based on the value, getting a team on a 5-game winning streak, rested at home at plus 120. I'll take a shot with LA.
Rod, what do you think of today's card? Of course, Rod, hot as hell. Yesterday, I kind of pointed out to start the show, but I can't take credit for it, that The first game that I pointed to yesterday was Detroit Red Wings. Rod agreed. First, he laid the puck line there, or took the puck line. Then he said, "I'll just take the money line. Forget it." And,
Just take the money line, yeah.
I'll tell you what. I think I need a Red Wings jersey just for when we talk about hockey. Like I'll just wear it during the hockey portion, and then I'll do a wardrobe change afterwards because it's like I think it's I don't know why I like it's like I mean I guess I know why I like the Red Wings so much, but it's like even though I lived in Chicago and I like the Hawks too, I just think when I think NHL, I think Red Wings. And I know a lot of people think Montreal Canadiens. If you're back from my era, the Guy Lafleur era, then Montreal Canadiens might be that team. Ken Dryden, but I don't know. I just always liked the Red Wings. I just thought it was always cool. That they were just one of the cooler teams. Rod, speaking of cool teams, who do you like?
Panthers at the Blues. Give me the Blues. -1.5. I like Blues on the puck line here. Binnington didn't play last night. He'll play tonight. They saved him for tonight's game against the Panthers. His last game, he let in a few goals. Tonight, he stands on his head and has a great game. Give me the Blues on the puck line. I'm with Chris as well. Give me Washington on the puck line. This Buffalo team's like 0-5, and then they just not playing very good. I think this is a spot Washington comes in and beats them up pretty good. Give me Washington on the puck line. Give me the Jets. Jets on the money line here over the Coyotes. Coyotes are 1-10 the last 11 in Winnipeg. Give me the Jets on the money line there. I'm going to take the Oilers on the money line. -120. Vegas on the back-to-back. I think the Oilers do enough here, and they're at home. Vegas and their tired legs. Give me the Oilers on the money line. The Avs and the Kings. The Kings have won 5 games in a row. The Avs are on a back-to-back. I like the under 5.5 in this game more than I'm taking a side. Give me under 5.5 Avs and Kings. But if I had to take a side, I would take the Avs. I'm not taking the Kings here. I think the Avs need to win more. Give me the Avs.
Go to NBA. We got just 3 games on the board. Pretty interesting, though, these games. The Bucks playing their 3rd road game in the last 4 days, and it looks like the Freak is out once again. Denver has not taken care of business against the better teams. Then we got the Hornets and the Hawks and the Raptors and the Jazz. Those of you that are watching us on the Sports Chat Plays channel, hopefully you've been watching my dog of the day on there because I've been absolutely, I don't usually pat myself on the back and look backwards, but I'll tell you what, I've been absolutely crushing it on the dog of the day at Sports Chat. Basically fading the Rockets is what we've been doing the last few days. But yeah, it's a small card. I think even on a big card, the Raptors Jazz would be a pretty good game. I think the Hawks Hornets. It's like I could see this one, someday being a rivalry if these two teams were good. And the Bucks and the Nuggets, of course, without the Freak, a little luster off of it. Chris, anything here for you?
Yeah, I stayed strictly on totals today. I like the over 224 in the Charlotte-Atlanta game. Just that theory, 2 bad teams, no defense. So I'll take the over 224. I'm surprised actually it's not in the 230s, to be honest. I'll take Milwaukee and Denver over 223.5. The last 2 games that Milwaukee's been without Denver, they've given up at least 118 points. They gave up 140 last night to Phoenix. I think Denver can score in the high 115, 120 here. I think Milwaukee can contribute too, so I'll take over 223.5 there. And I'll take under 224 in the Toronto-Utah game. I just see this being a more defensive style game. Maybe neither team hits 110. Maybe a 109, 105 final, somewhere along that line. So I'll take under 224 Toronto-Utah.
How about you, Rod?
NBA today, I only like a couple games.
Well, there's only 3, so.
Yeah. I only like 2. Give me the Raptors plus 4.5 here. The Jazz team has been up and down. There's that minus 4.5 again. Give me the Raptors here, plus 4.5. And I like Charlotte plus the 4 as well. Give me Charlotte plus the 4. Not laying any points with Atlanta. And the Bucks game, I would lean taking the Bucks plus the points. I think people will freak out and be like, "Oh, no Giannis, take Denver." No, I would lean the Bucks, but I'm not touching that game.
I would lean the. I took the. I took the Nuggets on the video. So there it is. I gave out my video pick on here, which is something I rarely do. But yeah, here's someone who's criticizing me once again. So you could do your own videos and you could say whatever you want in them, and you could do whatever you want. So yeah, because it happens all the time. Like whenever I say that always happens 100% of the time. That's why you're showing so many examples of it. I think, but anyways, it's like we're not going to dress these people anymore. But it's just, the stupidity. It's not the heat; it's the stupidity. That's what I was saying. But the thing is that the Bucks, even if Giannis was playing, it's 3 games in 4 days. In the day of load management, right? It's like, it's just, it's just, it just seems to be a lot, right? It just seems to be a ton. So, I don't know, man. Rod has that, I liked it when I thought it was going to be about 2 points, but I don't like it at 6. But, if the Bucks get blown out here, is anyone all that shocked? They lost to the Phoenix Suns. And it's not like the Suns were hot. The Suns are playing great. It's like the Suns were 2-8 going into that game.
Yeah.
To me, that's a straight avoid. I think I'm with you, Rod. Even though there's only 3 games, you just say, I'm going to take a pass. I got the Hawks and I got the Hawks and the Hornets going here. It's like, why do I even need that game? Maybe we should come on live for that Hawks Hornets contest. Anyways, go to college hoops. Once again, it's a small schedule, but I believe, let me see what Randy has to say. Our resident schedule, like there's the bracketologist. Randy is a scheduletologist. He's a scheduling expert, man. I've never seen, I've been doing this a long time and organizing teams of writers for 13 years, and I've never seen anyone work a schedule like Randy. Chris, is this guy just the magician or what?
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. To organize like a team of writers like we have. So we had a site full of writers where we covered every single game every single day, and it doesn't happen by magic. I'll let you guys know. For however long it takes you to write something, imagine doing that 3,300 times a month. So it doesn't happen by magic. And Randy is so into the game, so into the game. It's like he's got the schedule like down to a science, and it's like nothing slips past him. And the other thing about Randy that you have to realize is that the reason every game gets covered like that so fast, and why he covers so many, he's got serious trust issues, and like in the very best possible way. Like it's like we'll get a new writer, and the writer will be like, "Yeah, I'm going to cover these games," and Randy like thinks that there's a remote possibility that they might not get to it. It's like he'll write the game up anyway, just in case they don't get it up, and he'll post his article. Yeah, way weird. But
I'll give him credit. It's one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen.
Randy?
Just looking at that schedule.
Oh man, it's like so into the game. He's dialed in, you know. It's like it's like so we got a new writer, you know, to on the team, and I've been going through everybody's emails and stuff, and it's like I'm really particular as to who I bring on. But we got a new guy, and I said to Randy, you know, it's like I want him to start tomorrow, and you know, because we kind of divided things up, sports chat and pick dogs, kind of separating things out, but we're all one team, and we all cover for each other. But just, you know, for the sake of trying to keep everything in order, because March Madness is so crazy, because you don't know who's playing until after the games are over to even do the write-up. And Randy's like, well, there was two. He's been doing mostly sports chat, and he's like, well, there's two SWAC games over at Big Dogs. I just put my name on them because I got serious trust issues. It's like, all right. You got your SWAC on. It's like just it's like me. It hurts. Like if we didn't cover the Jackson State Prairie View A&M game or something, it hurts me. You know, it personally hurts. It's like speaking about some games, we got to, like I said, March Madness really starts now. You know, we have a few teams in. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if you don't give out my videos, my picks. You know, you can give out your picks, but I just appreciate it if you don't repeat mine. It's just, this is how we stay in business, you know, by people watching our videos, liking them, all that stuff. So if you give my picks out, people aren't going to watch the videos, and then we'll be out of business. We won't be able to do this anymore. We'll only be able to do pay, and that would suck. One of the things that I'm thinking about doing, though, is going to a pay Facebook group as well as our regular Facebook group. This way we can discuss things like spread knowledge, and this way we can discuss things like the premium picks and stuff. And I'm not really sure how it would work, but I was at that social media conference, and everybody there said I was nuts for not having it. I've been on the fence because I love doing all the free stuff, and we still will do free stuff. But it's like, you know, I know that you know, these guys won't say anything about it, but I'm sure you guys light up their mailboxes. It's like it's unfair to do that. It's like these guys are not your free a la carte pick bitches. You know, it's like it doesn't work that way. It's like these guys have a life, and they show up every day. It's not like, well, you know, they didn't come on for 2 weeks, so I just want to see what they're up to. No, they were already on. They gave out their picks, and these are their picks. It's like, you know, it's like it doesn't mean you get to interrupt their dinner because you're not sure. You know, do you still like the Capitals? I know you said it 6 times on the show, but you still like them. It's like it's not okay. So we're gonna have, I believe, a place for that. No, we will not have 6XL T-shirts. It will have 4X. This is gonna be the largest that we have.
6XL.
No, they offered me 6XLs. It's so expensive. Like, you know, for the 6XLs, it's like an upcharge, and then the mailing is more expensive. I did, you know, last T-shirt giveaway I did was 100% free. It was, you know, but we're thinking about maybe doing some kind of alternative giveaway for if 6X, you know, 6X or, you know, whatever. All right, but let's get to the Facebook group. What do you mean is it open to new members? Of course, as long as you have a profile and profile picture. We don't allow cartoon characters. Like if you don't have any real people and you're anything to do with your Facebook account, then we generally will reject you. The only way we reject you on our Facebook group is if you don't have a real profile pictures, friends, and stuff like that. Then you're not a real account, as we can, you know, accountable. Like I'm Mitch Wilson. This is my base. Here I am. Right, Chris, Rod, take it or leave it. Right. I mean, this is what we look like. This is who we are. If you don't have that in your Facebook account, then we don't let you in our group. If you're a handicapper or, you know, suspect that you're just there to spam our group because we have a good group, then we don't let you in. And I think that the people that are in the group, while a lot of people don't like it that we do it that way, I think the people that are actually in the group like it that way, you know? And it's like they know we work hard. We reject more people than we let in. Yeah, if you don't have a name or picture and stuff, then we're not going to let you in. That's for sure. We're going to reject you all the time. Anyways, speaking of college hoops, Chris, what are you thinking? How many games you got?
6 games.
How about you, Rod?
5, 7.
All right. Chris, why don't you give us 3?
All right, well, I'll start at the top.
I'm sure we're all going to have the same games. So, I mean, not the same picks necessarily, but the same games. So, why don't you start us with 3, and then Rod and I can chime in and ridicule you.
That wouldn't be the first time. I'll start at the top of the list. I like Hofstra minus 3.5 against Delaware.
I'm going to guess Rod agrees on that one.
Yeah. I just Hofstra's looking like the team to beat in the Colonial. And I think they're going to be the team to make it out of the tournament. So, and 3.5 is a more than reasonable number after seeing what they did to Drexel yesterday, winning by 17. I'll take Hofstra minus 3.5. I'll also take Wofford plus 6.5 against East Tennessee State. The 2 times they met in the regular season were both battles. They were both within 6 points or less. So I think Wofford's had a couple games to get into the thick of things here. So I'll take Wofford plus 6.5. I'll also take the under 133.5 in this game. Excuse me. Yeah, both of those games were under 120 points when they were playing in the regular season. So I'll take Wofford plus 6.5 and the under 133.5. And I like Green Bay plus 5 against Northern Kentucky. Green Bay's had a game to shake off the rust. Northern Kentucky hasn't played in 10 days. This could be another game where the lower seed gives the higher seed a run for their money. So I think Green Bay plus the 5. And I like the under 150. This total just seems really high considering the 2 played twice in the regular season. They both were around 130 points. So I'll take the under 150 in the Green Bay Northern Kentucky game.
How about you, Rod? Hofstra?
Hofstra for sure, yeah. Give me Hofstra minus 3.5 right now. It's at they're 10-1 ATS their last 11. Don't see why we should get off that. Give me Hofstra minus a 3.5. I also like Central Michigan and Ohio. Give me Ohio here. Central Michigan's 1-3-1 ATS their last 5. Ohio's 6-0 ATS their last 6. Ohio's the better team here. Give me Ohio minus the 5 over Central Michigan. Miami, Ohio, and Buffalo. I like the under 153 in this game. Miami, Ohio is 11-0 to the under their last 11 games. Buffalo is 9 of the last 11 to the under. So give me the under 153 in that game. And BYU versus St. Mary's. Give me St. Mary's plus the 4.5. This is going to be a tighter game than 4 points. I see this game as being last bucket wins type thing. Give me St. Mary's plus 4.5.
Yeah, someone here is saying they want more discussion on halftime picks and stuff like that. Yeah, we're going to do all that during the tournament. Those of you that were with us during NFL season, I was here at halftime, I think, almost every single game. I was halftime at every Sunday for the early games, the late games, and Sunday Night Football. I was on the halftime Monday Night Football. Just college hoops is a different animal. It's just really hard to do that. We tried one day to go live every 2 hours. It was way too much.
No, he wants us that question, more discussion on halftime picks.
Yeah.
I think he wants us more giving picks on first halves. Like, who's going to win the first half?
Well, in the new premium area, we're going to have, you can purchase those types of picks too. Speaking about dedication, a lot of people have negative things to say about me over the years, and I know a lot of it has to do with jealousy. But it's 5:15 in the morning my time. And, we started this show, it was 4:30 my time, and the computer pick show was at 4:15 a.m. my time. So when you're ready to do that, I'll be more than willing to listen to your criticism and advice, unsolicited advice. Until then, Like I always say, start your own channel and start your own website. Put in the work, put in the time, and then maybe we can respect your opinion. But until that happens, you're a troll. So, anyways, of course, not talking about these guys trolls. I'm just talking about in general. I hate. I mean, some people, it's like just the stupidity of the comments. Like we would respect that. This always happens. You never do this. It's like, if you're going to say something like that, you need to say exactly how many times I've said that and exactly how many times it's won and lost. Not a made-up number like, oh, this guy's 2-97 in his last. It's like, no. Say exactly what it is and list the games. List the picks, man. Show it up. I mean, you have something to say? I'm way into quantifiable data. Way into it, Show me the numbers, Show me the numbers, man. If you got the best, the guys at Wager Talk, right? We're the biggest and best. It's like, then why do we do 8 times as many views as you guys do? Why do we provide, 3,300 articles a month and you guys are doing a couple a day? I mean, if you're going to talk the talk, baby, you got to walk the walk. 'Cause I'll tell you what, man. I got about 10 guys that won't sleep, if you want to do it that way. But anyways, yeah, I kind of went off on the load management on the video, but I don't know, man. To me, this Wright State UIC game looks a little funny. I like Wright State a lot, but it's like UIC is actually 7-3 in their last 10 games, playing pretty well. Wright State kind of roasted us against the number a few times this season, but this number seems manageable, right? At 6. It's one I was looking at. And then there's a couple of late games that didn't get announced that I did not do videos on. One of those is North Dakota State against Oral Roberts, and we did all our Oral Roberts. I mean, I still get it, right? But it's I don't know. The Bison are kind of, they're there, right? And it's like all of a sudden South Dakota State's out, right? And so it's like, that's North Dakota State. I thought North Dakota State was the second best team in that conference. Purdue Fort Wayne, all the momentum in the world now. The Mastodons up against North Dakota Fighting Hawks. Used to be the Fighting Sioux, but they decided to get politically correct. And we could have a North Dakota State to see who goes to the big dance. So North Dakota could be represented here. Sure thing. Also, one that I was going to make a premium pick and I didn't. Northeastern minus the 8.5 against Elon. Frickin' hate Elon. Can't stand it. It's like
they got lucky yesterday and drained a big schwack of threes. It was 3.
But they've been doing that like the whole last 2 weeks.
I know.
The whole last 2 weeks, it's like they're 7-3 in their last 10.
Yeah, that stops today. I'm in trouble, but the Northeast is just amazing at the free throw line, and I think that's the difference.
Northeastern drills them. They do. Elon should just go away. They should just go away.
Go away. You're not allowed to play on the court no more. Go away.
It's not like they've been tolerable all season. I'm so sick of these guys. Wasn't that the game where at Duke, wasn't it Elon where the guy tripped, the tripping play? Wasn't that against Elon?
Yeah.
I was kind of rooting for Duke in that one, It's like I kind of saw his point, It's like, you haven't been roasted on Elon, and you haven't lived. Chris, what are your last 3 here? Elon?
I'm also on Ohio against Central Michigan. I just think Ohio's playing really well right now. And Central Michigan, even though they got the win over Western Michigan to finish the season, they were still 1-9 coming into this game. So I'll take Ohio minus the 5. Playing way better basketball. Speaking of Western Michigan, I'm going to take Western Michigan plus 9.5 against Toledo. Toledo 3-11 against the spread at home this season. These first round MAC games are campus games. So I'm not going to back Toledo when they're 3-11 at home, laying almost double digits. Western Michigan's been capable on the road, and I think they keep this one within the number. And I'm going to go with the over 146 in the St. Mary's BYU game. I think this total goes into the high 150s, low 160s. I'm surprised this total isn't set around 150, to be honest, but I'll take it. I'll go over 146 in BYU St. Mary's.
I just hit a button on my screen here, and from our friends at Ecamm, and I hit the button to see how many people are watching us total. It gives me a running total, and I hit the button, and it took me to every place where we're broadcasting. Just crazy. Wow, we're the feature video at Facebook right now. It's the live show. That's cool. Pretty cool, man. Wow, on Facebook Watch, we're the #1 video out there. Live. It's crazy. Never knew that. They even did that. Learn something new every day. Rod, who else do you like here?
Like I said, Northeastern was another one. Northeastern minus 8.5. I like Wright State minus the 6. And the last one I like, give me the Zags minus 12.5 versus San Fran. Zags have won the last 10 games versus San Fran by an average of 20 points plus. Give me the Zags here minus 12.5. And I also like the Zags first half over 71.5. Somebody was asking for a first half. There's a first half. Give me the Zags over 71.5 for first half. And Zags minus 12.5.
Yeah, I don't agree with you on the St. Mary's pick. I gotta say, I'm gonna have to agree to disagree there. Can't stand St. Mary's either. Another one of those ones, and it's like, as a handicapper, I always go with the numbers, and believe me, I picked the Cubs, Notre Dame, Florida, Ohio State. I mean, these are the teams everyone I don't like personally as a fan, but I like them when I can make money on them, right? And but St. Mary's is kind of in that pool of the teams that are kind of just never really love them. It's like I don't know why it is. Maybe because they're kind of like they're not even number one. They're not even 1A. They're kind of like they're number 2 in the West Coast Conference, and then I don't even think they're number 2 this year. I think they're 3. I think BYU. It's got the win over Gonzaga, 9-1 in their last 10. They played out here in Maui. I think they lost to Kansas, right? Lost to. It's like they beat UCLA. I know that much. I think did they lose to Dayton? Did they beat Dayton? I'll take a look.
St. Mary's?
Yes. No, Brigham Young. Yeah. BYU.
Oh, BYU. No, I think Dayton beat them.
It wouldn't be. I mean, Dayton beat everyone except they lost to Kansas. Oh, that's right. Dayton lost to Kansas in the final, and then let's see, BYU. Let's look back to that Maui tournament. So they lost to Kansas. Is who they lost to, and then they beat UCLA. They lost to Kansas, which I think you could say that's forgivable. And then they beat Virginia Tech, who had beaten Michigan State in that same tournament. They lost to San Diego State early by 5. They beat Houston, who's ranked. They lost to Boise before they headed out there. They lost to Utah, and that's a regional. And then they lost the first meeting to St. Mary's in overtime at St. Mary's by 3. And since then, their last loss was San Francisco. So since the loss to St. Mary's on January 9th, they've only lost to San Francisco by 1 at San Francisco. And then they lost at Gonzaga. They got crushed, but they avenged that one. They covered. They lost by a bunch. They call it? Yeah, they were getting 13 and they lost against Gonzaga. They didn't cover. And then they followed that up. They beat Pacific and then lost to San Francisco. But when we look at St. Mary's, I don't even see the argument here, that why St. Mary's should even be in the tournament, and when they lose this game, why they even have an argument to even be in the tournament, because if you play in the West Coast Conference, you can lose to Gonzaga and BYU if it's a BYU team like this year that beat them last time by 2 at BYU. So the games have been competitive. But to me, the game that, if you want to say the St. Mary's, I mean, yeah, they got crushed by Dayton. So, no shame in that on neutral court. But if you want to look at St. Mary's and you want to make an argument for not being in, I just don't think that if you're in the West Coast Conference, you can lose to anybody but BYU and Gonzaga. And even the BYU game, like they did it, they won at home, lost on the road. That's all okay. But it's like even getting swept by Gonzaga. But when you lose 107-99 to Pacific, you're out. You're out. I don't know. Maybe I'm too harsh. Maybe I'm still holding the Winthrop against them. 61-59. Winthrop.
I just looked plus 4.5. Both games. The first one was a 2-point game. The other one was a 3-point game between BYU and St. Mary's.
But they also lost to Santa Clara, 67-66. So, I just don't see how St. Mary's is in. What does the bracketology say about these guys? They have been. They have been as 8. It's like, so would you rather, do you think St. Mary's has a better chance in the NCAA tournament, or Richmond, Xavier, Wichita State, or Memphis? You go down to the next line, Mississippi State, who I believe can beat anybody on any given night. Purdue, unless the games are at Purdue, they're not going to win, right? And then Northern Iowa, who you had your chance, as far as I'm concerned. It's like, not only did you lose, I mean, you didn't make it out of the locker room. It's Monday. So, anyways, ready for a recap?
Really?
I thought we'd have like a half-hour show today. 45 minutes in. Let's go ahead, Chris. Tell us how it is.
All right. So for the NHL, I like Washington minus 1.5 against Buffalo. Under 5.5 in the Winnipeg, Arizona game. I lean towards Winnipeg minus 125. St. Louis in regulation minus 110 against Florida. Vegas plus 105 at home against Edmonton, and it's Vegas 6-1 on the second half of back-to-back. And LA plus 120 against Colorado. I parlay for the NHL today. Washington on the puck line, under 5.5 in the Winnipeg, Arizona game, and Vegas plus 105. NBA, I'm going to parlay these 3 totals together. You can play them individually as well. Over 224 in the Charlotte, Atlanta game. Over 223.5 in Milwaukee, Denver. And under 224 in Toronto, Utah. College hoops, I like Hofstra minus 3.5 against Delaware. Wofford plus 6.5 against East Tennessee State, and the under 133.5 in that game. Green Bay plus 5 and the under 150 in that game against Northern Kentucky. Western Michigan plus 9.5 against Toledo. Ohio minus 5 versus Central Michigan, and over 145.5 in BYU St. Mary's. My 4-game parlay round robin. You can do both. Ohio minus 5 against Central Michigan. Hofstra minus 3.5 against Delaware. Under 150 in Green Bay, Northern Kentucky, and over 145.5 in BYU St. Mary's.
All right, NHL. Give me Washington on the puck line. I like the Jets on the money line over the Coyotes. I like the Oilers on the money line over Vegas. The Avs and Kings, I like under 5.5 in that game. I lean the Avs money line. I like the Blues over the Panthers on the puck line. For me, I'm doing a 3-way birdcage. All these teams to win in regulation. Give me Washington to win in regulation, minus 105. Jets to win in regulation, plus 115. Oilers to win in regulation, plus 120. For my birdcage there. NBA, give me the Raptors plus 4.5. And give me Charlotte plus 4. College hoops, I like Ohio over Central Michigan, minus 5. I like Hofstra minus 3.5 over Delaware. I like Wright State minus 6 over UIC. I like St. Mary's plus the 4.5 versus BYU. Give me Northeastern minus the 8.5 over Elon. I like Miami, Ohio, and Buffalo under 153. Give me the Zags minus 12.5 over San Fran. And I like the first half over 71.5 in the Zags game. College bird case for me today. Give me Hofstra minus 3.5, Ohio minus 5, and give me the Buffalo game under 153.
All right, everyone out there. Couple things real quick. See a lot of discussion in the chat here on YouTube. You guys should take that over to the Facebook group. We got thousands of people talking about this exact same stuff, and we have a super active Facebook group. I'm in it. These guys are both in it too. So plus thousands of other people, and it's just the content. The reason why I suggest that is the content sits there all day, and the discussion goes on all day. So you could walk away, come back, pick it back up, and all that stuff. While here, it's like once the show is over, the discussion is over. So that's why the Facebook group, why we do that. But anyways, I got another comment about like how I address the haters and stuff like that. I think that I do probably spend a little more time than need be on it. But it's like what I want to do is I want to call these guys out, and it's not necessarily let them frustrate me or anything. I just want to say if you're going to make a statement, then you need to back it up. I do. I'm here. I show up. I show my face. I show who I am. I back it up. I say you want to talk the talk. You better walk the walk, man. Not, you're just a troll. Anyways, Birdcage, Edmonton for the Puck Dogs, Avalanche because I feel like it, Northeastern minus 8.5. Just a straight play against Elon. No other reason. Spite alone. Anyways, matter of fact, I'm going to bet that game twice. Thanks for joining me, guys. Another good show. Tomorrow we really have a heavy hitter of a schedule. I'll check what the scheduleologist has to say. Randy Chambers. He says we have 18 college hoops tomorrow. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 NHL for tomorrow, and
we have a bunch of NBA.
9 NBA games. I think we're also going to start talking a little bit MLB preview and spring training. We have a new Chris. We're thinking about replacing this Chris with the new Chris. He's a baseball guy. So we'll think about it. I mean, how many Chris's can you have? Maybe we'll just have a vote. All right, I vote for Chris.
I vote Chris too.
I got happy about that, and I said, wait a second.
On that note, I'll see you guys tomorrow.